everyone. I am going to be talking about my first trimester in this video. I give you guys a little heads up. I will be using my phone. I have all my notes. Due to pregnancy brain, I feel like it will help me keep myself order and not forget things. And if I do, I have them here. I want to start with the symptoms that I had. I had nausea, cravings, cramping, moody. I was very moody. Food aversions, heartburn, pregnancy brain, and I napped a lot. I would say that during my first month of my first trimester and the third month of my first trimester, I actually slept a lot. I took naps all the time. I would take like 5 naps a day. I wasn't in school. I was just laying in the house. So I was very sleepy all the time. My second month of my first trimester, I was very active. So I would deep clean all the time. I would reorganize things a lot. I was always on my feet. So it was pretty active my second month. With nausea, I had morning sickness all day. So I believe for 2 months I had morning sickness. So I couldn't eat things very well. It was mostly the gagging feeling. I would never vomit, which thank God. And I was very lucky. My first trimester I didn't vomit. I just had so much nauseous, and it was fine with me. I know that a lot of women do experience vomiting, but I didn't experience that. I pictured it to be like the movies where like you run to the bathroom because you're gonna vomit and you vomit and that's how people know you're pregnant or whatever, but no. One of the other things I did was pee a lot. So I used the restroom all the time. That's kind of where my mom got suspicious, because she would see me go to the restroom all the time. I'll use the restroom all the time and not even drinking a lot of water, but I still had to use the restroom. The next thing is cravings. So I have and had a huge craving of fruits. Fruit is my #1 thing to go for. I would prefer fruit instead of cake. That's how it was. I never had sugary cravings until now. But my first trimester, I had salty and spicy cravings. Mostly, I feel like what I craved the most during my first trimester was fruits, like I said, and my mom's chilaquiles. The next one is cramping. So I had side cramps, I had abdominal cramps, and I had pelvic cramps. I was very scared, especially with the whole little thing that happened at the beginning. So I would be scared, but the doctor would recommend me that it was just my uterus expanding. Everything was great. My new body was forming, and I was just gonna experience a lot of cramping and that it was normal. They did suggest that if it was heavy bleeding or severe cramping, to always call. Cramping, mild cramping, it's fine, but if it's really, really severe and you have bleeding along with it, to like call and make sure you're okay. The next one is moody. So you do get emotional, very emotional during your first trimester. I would cry for the littlest things. If I was watching a movie and it had like a little clip of like a parent and a little kid, or a little love scene, I would burst crying. I would just start crying. Looking back at it, it's funny, but at that moment I was really into my feelings. I also didn't like to be around a lot of people during my first trimester. I like to be alone, and I feel like because of all the new changes I was going through, it was best for me to be not around a lot of people. That way I could process the changes, and if I felt sick or I had headaches, I wouldn't take it out on people, or I wouldn't have a bad attitude or my facial expression. I would just be on my own and take it as I go. If Junior wasn't home, then I'll just be by myself. But if not, Junior was there to help me through it. During my first trimester, I was very attached to Junior. I still am, but I was very, very attached to Junior my first trimester. I would want him to hug me, cuddle me, nurture me, all of the above. My whole first trimester, I just wanted him to cuddle me. I don't know why. It was just something that I realized that I was doing a lot, and luckily he didn't. He had a lot of patience with me, and he didn't neglect me, so that was great. I did get my cuddles, and like I also, like, if he would say no to certain things, I would burst down crying. I would feel like he was being the horrible person, but of course there were just little ones. I remember I was craving tacos really bad, and it was late night, and I asked him, I was like, hey, can we go get tacos? And he's like, no, it's late. And I started bursting crying. I couldn't handle it. I was feeling really sad. I was just crying. And he just started laughing. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he did take me to eat tacos. That didn't end very well, but yeah, you do get very moody. You should let your partner know that. I would always let Junior know that. I was very verbal with him. So if I knew that I felt moody, or if I knew that it wasn't my day, or I wasn't feeling it, I would talk to him. So I would be like, hey, you know, I feel this way. Don't take anything personal. I never try to go against, say anything bad to Junior, or like tell him to move or leave me alone. No, I just told him to, you know, understand what I'm going through, and it wasn't because I wanted to be like that. It was just the things that pregnancy has you going through. So he was very understanding, and I feel like that very much helped me my first trimester, having that understandable person, and him being there and supporting me a lot, especially through all the transitions that I was going through. It was very helpful. The next one is food aversion. So I had cravings, but not food cravings. It was more fruit cravings, more like snack cravings. I didn't eat a lot. I didn't like oily food. I didn't like strong smells. And fortunately, the reason why I said the taco situation ended bad was because after that, I hated tacos. My stomach couldn't stand it. When we went to go get our tacos, I took 2 bites from it, and my stomach was not having it. I couldn't eat it. I couldn't finish it. To me, they did not taste good. They did not taste the same. I don't know what they were missing, but it just wasn't for me. I tried eating tacos again, like days after or weeks after. It was still the same. So I realized that I just didn't like tacos that very moment. Till now, I still don't eat tacos and burritos. I eat it once in a while, but not because I'm craving it. It's more of like people serving it, and that's what we have to eat. The other one is heartburn. I had so much heartburn. I am the person that, before my pregnancy, that never experienced heartburn. So everything I ate was normal, was fine with me. But once I got pregnant, everything gave me heartburn the first trimester. My stomach hurted. I felt like so much acid in the middle. I just couldn't handle it. That was also one of the symptoms I felt when I found out I was pregnant, or when Junior knew I was pregnant, was because I had very bad heartburn. Which is unfortunate. You may experience it, you may not experience it, but a little heads up won't hurt. The other thing is pregnancy brain. So that is so very real that I never knew how real it could be until now. I forget a lot of things. I lose my train of thought. I blank out. I'm talking in full conversation, and I will completely blank out, and I wouldn't know what we were talking about. when literally we were talking about it 2 seconds ago. You may experience it, you may not, who knows? Everyone's different. But for me, pregnancy brain did affect, and it has still been affecting me a lot. But it's something that I worked with, and Junior doesn't mind me asking the same question 5 times in a day. So that's beneficial, and it's real. Believe me, it's real. The next thing that I also experienced was, I had it in my mind. I should have wrote it down. But I'll get back to it if I do remember. Now I'll recommend some things that I have been doing, especially since the start of my first trimester. So even before we conceived, after we talked about trying to have a baby, I started taking prenatal vitamins. So I had the app that I put down in the other video, and that app helped me a lot. There was a lot of women there that, like, we would talk to one another, and they would suggest taking prenatal vitamins that can help you prepare the body to host a baby inside there. So the prenatal vitamins I took are these. I don't know if you guys can see it clear, but it's from Nature Made, and it's prenatal multi plus. It has DHA. So I only have to take 1 tablet a day, which is great. At the beginning of my first trimester, when I was taking them, it was great. I didn't feel sick. They didn't taste bad. There was some days that they tasted like hot tamales, the little spicy candy, but I didn't like throw them up. I didn't have a problem with it. It was perfectly great for me. The next thing I did was I bought a Doppler, sorry. Because of the situation that I went through at the beginning, I was very scared. I was always wondering if my baby was okay. So I made sure I bought a Doppler, and it helped me a lot. Like every time I felt anxious, or every time I felt like, I had like that feeling, I would check and baby was there. Mostly every morning I checked to hear my baby's heartbeat. I believe I started hearing the heartbeat at 11 weeks. So it was great. After that, I was very happy. It helped me a lot. I don't use it anymore because baby kicks now every day. But at that moment and at that time, it was very beneficial for me. It cost me $50. I don't know when I'll be using it again. The next thing is my little bump book. So I wanted to record weekly bumps and monthly bumps, just pictures, just things that I can have, so later on I can go back and see the beautiful memories I went through. So I really recommend it. It already has a picture of Dante. And it just has a lot of good pages for you to put notes on. I keep it for records, and I keep it for memories later on. It's very helpful if you're a type of person that likes to save memories. I would recommend this. It's small, it's convenient, it's not a hassle to have in your home. It's very useful. I like to read books to gain information, to gain more knowledge, to understand things more in depth. So I bought this book. It's called Expecting 411, and it gives you so much information from your first trimester to your second trimester to your third trimester. So it's very informational. It has very good information for you to learn about. It has red flags, it has tips that they recommend you they give you warnings of things that your body will go through. That way you can prepare yourself mentally. I feel like it was very helpful for me to read this book because when those things would happen, I was already prepared. I was already, my mindset was already focused on it, and I was positive with it, and I didn't took it as a hassle. Instead, I took it as okay, I know this was coming. So it's very useful for me in my own experience to have a lot of knowledge before it comes. Sorry, I have to catch my breath. I do have a couple, at that time I had a couple friends that were pregnant, and I would ask them questions. I gratefully, one of my friends, she helped me. She gave me a lot of tips and a lot of things that she went through. She also told me about her experiences. So it also helped me keep a open mind about the things that were gonna come my way. So I would say that it's very beneficial, and I would recommend asking questions, especially if you know someone is very open and you know that they have gone through the same experience. Ask questions, not to follow the same thing as they went through, but to have a little bit of knowledge and to be open-minded of the things that might happen to you. Don't use it as a comparing thing. Every pregnancy is different. Always remember that. As long as, you mentally prepare yourself, I feel like things will work out. For me, preparing myself helped me so much. Preparing myself mentally helped me so much, so I wouldn't stress about it. Finally, the last thing I would like to talk about is being a first time mom. As myself being a first time mom, you do experience sometimes just negative comments here and there. I would just recommend hearing their advice, but if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to follow it. I do remember hearing a lot of, well, you don't have to rest, or you don't have to do this. I didn't do that. It's fine with me. If I have the opportunity, and if you guys have the opportunity to live the best of your pregnancy and enjoy every single moment of it, go for it. Don't be ashamed to feel nurtured or feel cared for. If you have the resources, if you have that opportunity, live it up, have fun, enjoy your pregnancy. Anything you want to do with your pregnancy, if you want to be happy about it and post all over social media, go for it. Some people might like it, some people might not. Who cares? It's your pregnancy. That's one of the things that I have done the most, is I take a lot of pictures of my belly. I take a lot of pictures of me. My brother sees I'm very conceited of my pregnancy, but I'm very happy for it, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So that's one of my biggest tips I would recommend, is don't stop doing the things you love to do for your baby or you want to do for your baby because of others. Every pregnancy is different. Every person's situation is different. My second trimester, I will talk about it more next video. But there's a lot of changes. You can see me catching my breath sometimes. So you have to get used to the goods and the bads. And for me, the good outweighs the bad. I just recommend being positive and having a positive mindset. Your body, it will change and will continue to change during pregnancy. And if you see pregnancy as a negative thing since the start, then you will program your mind to think negatively all the time. Being pregnant is not easy. It has never been easy, I believe, but taking it with a little positivity day by day, it helps a lot. So that's pretty much it for my first trimester. So I hope you enjoyed my first trimester video. It's not very on point, and then my camera died, so I had to do it with my phone. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.